Pick 6 Season 2 has finally arrived, and HD is about to do his top 6 games of this fantastic Week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. Are you ready?
They're expecting the ball to come out quicker than what it did.
McCarthy. Pass is caught, spinning grab by Aaron Jones. And somehow, some way, the Minnesota Vikings are on.
Take the handoff. Rodgers under a rush, wide open, touchdown, Calvin Austin.
Aaron Rodgers back in the end zone. He'll take it himself for the touchdown.
Mayfield on first down, throws, end zone, caught, touchdown. Abuka with his second of the game.
Lamar laid it up for Hopkins. One hand! The veteran still got it. DeAndre Hopkins touchdown.
Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to season 2 of the Pick6 podcast. I know it's been a little longer than usual. Tomorrow we start week 2 with the Thursday night games, but the dust has settled. A fantastic week 2 is about to happen. But before we get to anything else, let's start with week 1. And this is season 2. And before I start with my pick 6, I would like to thank each and every one that has taken 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever time out of their lives to pay attention and listen to this podcast. Like I said, this is just something that I want to do. It's something I love to do. It's not your typical, media / Mark's podcast where I spend most of my time, most of my day insulting and degrading the athletes that come out on the field every Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays to play the game that they enjoy and love to do. I enjoy to do this, but I'm going to be critical. I'm going to be opinionated, but not to the point where I'm going to degrade and disrespect an individual outside of the game of football. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Pick 6, Week 1. So, now there's a whole host of games. Where do I start? I was thinking about this last night. Who would I start off with? I'm going to start off with Buffalo and Baltimore. I think that's where I'm going to start, because the crazy thing about that, I was watching that game. I saw the score. I saw halftime. I saw the 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter. And then everything changed. Of course, the Derrick Henry fumble, which kind of changed the whole course of the game. And then, Josh Allen turns around in the fourth quarter, goes 16 for 21, 251, 3 total touchdowns, a passer rating of 1.313. That's just the fourth quarter alone with Josh Allen. And my thing is with Josh Allen, folks, is that he's a difference maker. He is the franchise. And that's your definition of a franchise player, just like Lamar Jackson is for Baltimore. And this game could have went either way. Did Baltimore give the game away? Yeah, they did. Is Derrick Henry a big part of it? Yeah, he is. But even though that fumble happened, Baltimore had chances to stop them afterwards to avoid this comeback. So this is not just all on Derrick Henry. I think this is a whole collective agreement on my part that I feel it's not just Derrick Henry. It's everybody on this team. Josh Allen was absolutely fantastic. He showed why he was chosen politically to be the MVP, which I felt Lamar should have been. But at the end of the day, he came out, he did what he was supposed to do. He became the guy and the difference maker, And when I talk about the other 5 games in the Pick 6, one of the things I'm going to use here is the difference between coaching and a franchise player. This game was won by the franchise player. It was not won by the coach. If you guys understand, Sean McDermott has historically found ways to blunder critical situations for the Bills, where in this particular situation, Josh Allen was given the keys to the car, and he decided to drive it, drove it to the gas station, gassed it up, and drove right through the freeway until he was stopped by customs. And even by the time he was stopped by customs, it was a little too late. He already checked in. Passport was good, all credentials were good, and he took them to the finish line. So it's just one of those things, folks, where at the end of the day, 41-40, the Bills. Lamar was 209, 2 touchdowns, was only sacked twice. Derrick Henry ran for 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. That amazing catch by DeAndre Hopkins. You're going to hear it. Of course, you probably just heard it already in the opening of the show. Zay Flowers went for 143, had a touchdown, like averaging 20 yards a catch. Both these defenses were not good. But again, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it throughout the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is only week 1. It is only week 1. So let's just calm down. Let's refocus. It is a loss. It's a bad loss for Baltimore because it's going to come down to conference games when it comes to playoffs, because these two teams will see each other again in the playoffs. Don't get it twisted. So Buffalo Bills pull it off, 41-40 in a unbelievable classic. I mean, this is week 1, but you're getting your money's worth if you're a fan. Not your money's worth. You're getting your time. Your time is being valued with these games. I wouldn't say if you're a fan and you went to watch these games, you're getting your money's worth. But if you are a fan that has sat down and put your time in the night to watch this, your time was worth it. This is football at its finest. So next game I'm going to talk about here, and I'm picking this one because this is a definition of just it's just bad teams and two teams who I feel are just, I don't know, Cincinnati and Cleveland, two teams that represent that devastating and ultra competitive AFC North. 17-16. Burrow had 1 touchdown. He's not going to play like that again. Okay? T. Higgins only had 3 catches for 33 yards. He's not going to play like that again. Chase 2 catches for 26 yards. He's not going to play like that again. He's just not going to play like that. These guys are not going to play like that again. They accounted for less than 70 yards combined and 0 touchdowns. It's not going to happen again. But that Cleveland defense, you could say whatever you want. That Cleveland defense is absolutely stellar. If you watch that game and watch clips and highlights or whatever, that Cleveland defense, Cleveland's offense lost that game. Lost it. The kicker missed 2 easy, he lost 6 points. And Flacco was, he is what he is. He threw 2 interceptions. Had a touchdown, threw for 290, threw 45 times. Jerry Jeudy dropped 1. I mean, Tillman had the lone touchdown. You get what you get. Like they always say, you pay for what you get. And Flacco is gonna get you. Just my prediction. He's a 9-8 quarterback because I believe the defense is going to win a lot of those games. And I'm telling you, if they had any ounce of solid QBing, Cincinnati's 0-1, and we're talking about them not doing what they're supposed to do again. A la Zach Taylor, not being talked about as one of the most unprepared coaches in the league. But that's a whole different conversation for the media to talk about. But Cincinnati won. It's a bad loss, but it's a win. You got to take these division games. Division games are going to be like this. So Cincinnati 17-16 over Cleveland. Number 3 on the list, and I'm just wow. I'm going to talk about Miami and Indiana because that's my 3rd game, and the reason why I'm going to talk about Miami and Indiana is because I've been very, very, very critical about Tua. And I say it because I'm not saying he's a bad person. He's not. He's a very intelligent young man. He knows how to speak on this. And I love how he comes and does his post-game, his pre-game, his post-game interviews, all that stuff. He's good. There's some guys that should not talk on the mic after a game. I'm just going to say. But he's one of those guys. But you could just watch this Colts-Miami game, and you could see from the get-go just a landslide. Something is off. I don't know if it's the coaching, which is a big part of it, the quarterbacking, which is a big part of it. And it takes me back to 2020, and I said this almost 5 years ago, and I said there's a lot of factors that has led to this. In 2020, Ryan Fitzpatrick was a starting quarterback for Miami, and most of you guys who listen to this show or know football know this. He was doing well. He was winning games. All of a sudden, the upper management decided to force or tell Mr. Flores, Coach Flores, we need to get Tua in now. And apparently Fitzpatrick got this announcement via a video call or Zoom call or whatever the hell it may be, and subsequently Tua took over. Season was whatever. There were 2 occasions where Tua was pulled out of the game, and one of them Fitzpatrick came in, took over, and absolutely did what Fitzpatrick did and won the game. Fitzpatrick has been a 50-50 quarterback. He's a guy that will throw for 490 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. But he's going to throw the ball, and he's going to win some games. Understand you go with the young guy, but it's just, I saw this, I'm like, this is not going to go well for Miami. This is a karma in the making. And throughout the 5 years Tua's been doing his thing, he's had concussion issues, he's had some bad games, he's had some awful games, he's had some ugly games. And then you look at Tyreek Hill, 4 receptions for 40 yards. Waddle, 4 receptions for 30 yards. And you're just sitting there saying, these are 2 dynamic receivers. Like, Chase and Higgins, we saw their stats. We were like, ugh. But we know it's not going to happen again because they have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. I'm not saying Tua is a bad guy, but he's not that guy. McDaniel is not that guy. And they lost to Daniel Jones, who threw for 275 and had a touchdown. He was 22 for 29, folks. 22 for 29. Just let that sink in. Daniel Jones. I mean, it says it all to me. Like they say, it's only one game. But when you lose a game like that to a guy like Daniel Jones, no disrespect, 33-8, that's where I'm going to leave it. So, Cowboys, Eagles. Let me get to that. The Carter incident to start the game, not right. Not right. He was suspended based on the fact that he was unsuspended because he missed the entire game. He is ready to go for the next game against the Chiefs. So that incident, I'm going to leave that. Well, obviously the media already talked about it. Dak was 21 for 34, 188. Dak was good. I was impressed. Dak was very manageable. Williams with just 2 rushing touchdowns, had 15 carries, 54 yards. He scored when they needed those scores. CeeDee Lamb had 110, but dropped like 4 critical passes. Can't do that. Pickens made some phenomenal catches, only had three targets. He should have more than that. Well, he didn't have 3. He had three receptions. He had 4 targets. So let me apologize. Pickens had 4 targets. CeeDee Lamb had 13 targets and only made 7 out of them. Philly now, Jalen Hurts, classic Jalen Hurts, 19 for 23, 152. 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 62 yards rushing. And that's Jalen Hurts. There's another quarterback I'm going to talk about that kind of plays similar to him and, won his game on Monday. But, this is a rivalry. It's expected. These guys they're going to play. They're going to do what they need to do. But I'm not taking anything away from Dallas. Dallas played their asses off. Unfortunately, that rain delay did a lot of damage, in so many ways. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, folks. This season is going to be very, very intriguing, and where these two teams go, because that KC game, KC's desperate for a win, which is the next game for Philly, and Dallas needs a win, and they're gonna try to get that win. So the Cowboys, they're doing their thing, and next on the schedule for them is a Giants team who has no idea where they're going. Russell's going to start that game. They have a chance to uphold that. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out. So I'm going to be intrigued with Dallas. I think Dallas could beat the Giants, but that's a whole different conversation for a different day, folks. But yeah, Eagles 24-20 over Dallas. I got to give Dallas their credit. They came prepared and they came ready to go. So Steelers Jets. Wow. Wow. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers came out. He actually came out and he balled. He finally had in. This is the first Aaron Rodgers type game that he's had in probably almost 2.5 years. He didn't have any with the Jets, but 244, 4 touchdowns, sacked 4 times, 22 for 30. He came out and he did his thing, and Austin with one, Skoranek with one, Warren with one, Smith with one. The ball was spread. The targets were even. It's Pittsburgh is usually a run team, but this wasn't a run situation. Aaron Rodgers is not a run style quarterback. If you're looking at run style quarterbacks, you're going to go with guys like Cam Ward, JJ McCarthy, Jalen Hurts. Those are guys who are dependent on a solid running game. Aaron Rodgers would just sling that ball 60 times if he has to. So I expect Pittsburgh is going to continue their thing, but that was a phenomenal. And Justin Fields, I've been a big Justin Fields fan. The guys have listened to the show know I'm a big Justin Fields fan, and Justin Fields, congratulations to him. What a way to finally get something going when you have a coach that believes in you and a system that actually. The Jets are a mess, but there's a coach and an offensive coordinator that actually puts their arms around you. You could do great things. Breece Hall ran for 107 with only 19 carries. Like, he did what he wanted. Justin Fields had 2 rushing touchdowns. He had a Jalen Hurts type performance. I'm happy for this guy. Garrett Wilson got his 7 receptions only for 95 for 1 touchdown. I look at the score, it's only the first game of the year. It's 34-32 Pittsburgh, but both these teams came out, they balled out, man. They gave us a game to watch. We expected a little lackluster. Didn't expect Aaron Rodgers to come back out and we didn't expect Aaron to come out and play the way he played. We didn't expect I expected Justin Fields to do something because his offseason's been phenomenal. And I do pay attention to offseason, folks. Like, I really do. Whether it's basketball, football, whatever. I've been in that mix for years myself. Like, your offseason is very important. Even if you're a referee, what are you doing in the offseason to stay focused? Are you learning the new rules? Are you staying in shape? What are you doing? Any sport that you're involved in. If you're on that field, preparation is the key. And Justin Fields did such a phenomenal job. I watched so much stuff with him because I'm a fan of this kid, and I think this kid can be successful. So 34-32 Steelers, great game, and we'll see where that goes. The final game is the Monday night game. My Vikings versus the Bears, and my take is going to sound a lot different from everybody else's. The verdict is not in on any of these quarterbacks. Number one, because they're both learning a new system. Caleb Williams, this is his 3rd head coach. Okay? He's got a coach that knows how to run an offense. It's going to take some time. Offensive playbooks take 1.5 to 2 years to learn on average. Go look at the numbers. So they started off moving the ball and doing things, and they frustrated me as a fan. I was frustrated, but I understood what was going on, and I knew who the coach was. But then, um, you know, Roma Dunze had a nice touchdown. There were so many things in this Bears-Vikings game that the media did not talk about. Caleb Williams is great on his foot. You got to let him do a little more of that. Something that Jared Goff has nothing in his arsenal. So I think Ben Johnson has a quarterback that he could work. I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams, but I'm a fan of his ability. He's very athletic. People don't realize how athletic he is. So he has that ability to do great things. So they need to take advantage of that and take advantage of the weapons that they have. They have some weapons on offense. But it was a tale of three quarters. The first three quarters, J.J. McCarthy, they were protecting him. As the media said, I'm saying they weren't just protecting J.J. McCarthy. They didn't really want to see him do something he couldn't do. But this guy played for Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh let him do what he wanted, but he was under a controlled system, just like how Fields could do. But Fields is more athletic. Jalen Hurts, these guys know when to go, when to make plays. J.J. McCarthy, same thing. He knows when to move, but he's 22 years old. But the deciding factor of this game, the two deciding factors in this game were coaches. The head coach, Coach O'Connell, and Coach Flores. Coach Flores did absolutely nothing in the first half when it came to blitzing. He had the 2-man rush, 4-man rush, and then in the second half, he says, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not cuddling you guys anymore. Get him. And that was it. This guy has sent more blitzes in the last 3 years, look at the numbers, than some coaches have in 10. He has a 56, or I think 57% blitz percentage. It's crazy. Once you have the personnel, you could do those things, and obviously he did. J.J. McCarthy in the second half, though, 2 touchdowns, 2 passing, one rushing, and then there was the interception. When I saw that interception, folks, I was like, "Oh my God, this game is not going to be good." But but at the end of the day, I saw what happened, and I said to myself, "What's going to happen? What's going to happen next?" But the game itself changed, the whole atmosphere changed, and J.J. McCarthy ended up managing the game to the point where the Bears couldn't do anything. So at the end of the day, it's man, the tail. It's 3 quarters, and Aaron Jones did his thing. He got that catch for the touchdown, that second one. Aaron Jones was running Mason, like Jordan Mason. I mean, I love that pickup. I think that was my favorite pickup for the team this year was him. And listen, I'm not a fan of J.J. McCarthy. I've said it before. I didn't like the pick at 10. I felt if you're going to move up, you got to get something. Now, let's see what Coach O'Connell is going to do. He's been magical with what he's had so far. He was magical with Kirk Cousins. He was magical with Sam Darnold. Let's see what he's going to do with him. And Carson Wentz is sitting on the bench if anything happens. J.J. McCarthy is not a strong guy either, so he's got to be careful when he's running around because if he takes a hit that's not ill-advised, Carson Wentz is coming in the game. But nevertheless, the Vikings survived 27-24. Before I close out on the first edition, I'm going to give some notes that I have on this episode. And for you guys, it's a little longer than usual, 20-something minutes plus so far, but it's because of, some quick notes here. The Broncos-Titans game, they both got their quarterbacks. Bo Nix, Sean Payton's got his guy, and Cam is going to do his thing. Guys just need to be more patient. Guys need to learn how to catch the ball. It's game 1. Detroit and Green Bay. Oh, wow. Green Bay looks good. Detroit, I would calm down. It's only 1 game. But again, Goff has got a new offensive coordinator, so it's going to take some time. And he's got those weapons. He's got Jameson Williams, and he's got Amon St. Brown, man. It's calm down, guys. I know a lot of people. 49ers and Seahawks. Shanahan, that weasel, once again escapes. Sam Darnold played a good game. He just couldn't make plays when they Brock Purdy threw 2 interceptions. He played like a 7th-round quarterback. And that's what he is. Sam Darnold threw for no touchdowns, but he managed the game so well. My problem is Sam Darnold is not that quarterback. Sam Darnold is a missile thrower. He even throws missiles. He throws cannons. So the quarterback that I expected, the team that I expected to let it fly didn't. I expected Seattle to let it fly because they have a guy who just came off a 33 touchdown year. I think it was 4,000 yards, if I'm correct. That's who I expected. But it was Brock Purdy that was throwing the ball, which is unreal. So I thought, Brock Purdy would be the more conservative, Sam would be the thrower. And I felt if that was the way it was supposed to be, Sam would win. Shanahan's game plan won. A couple of lucky plays, missed field goals, fumbles, that fumble by Sam Darnold late in the game. That was it, folks. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked enough. It's 25 minutes into the show. That is week 1 of Pick 6. Thank you for listening. And live as usual, live and organic. We don't do edits. We don't do makeup or whatever you guys watch when you guys watch these, media shows. But ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Pick 6, week 1 in the books. Have yourself a good one. Peace.